It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and this is your UFC Vegas 56 full card predictions. I mean, we haven't had a fight, we haven't had a fight night in a week, and we also haven't had an eBay UFC full card predictions video in a week. So it's good to be back, y'all. Couldn't wait to see y'all. I think we got a pretty good card. I mean, a lot of prospects, but I think we got a good card coming up. And also, speaking of prospects, I will be making my first ever top 5 prospects, or I shouldn't say top 5, top prospects of this fight night's card. And I think we got a pretty banger card here, man. I like this card a lot, and I think it's going to be really, really good. But let's talk about Damon Jackson versus Daniel Argueta. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his last name, but this kid's really good. He fought Ricky Turquoise on Tough, and since then he's been on, I think a 3-fight win streak since that televised loss. I know it's an exhibition loss, and it doesn't count on his record. He's technically 8-0, but we've seen him lose before. And good on him. He's a good fighter, but he's too small, and that's where it just comes down to it. I mean, Damon Jackson, I wouldn't say he has the length. He kind of has he doesn't have short arms, but he doesn't have long arms. I mean, he might have long arms for featherweight. He might actually, when I think about it. Because I think him and Colby might have the same reach. But besides that, he doesn't fight like the longer fight. I don't know. It's just the way I see it. But besides that, I could see Damon Jackson fighting at lightweight. He has that frame. I've never seen that for Daniel. So, yeah, good on him for taking the fight on short notice. Derek Minner. If you saw Damon Jackson's Twitter, Damon, he called Derek Minner the F out, man. I was laughing about that. And, I've never been the biggest supporter of Mr. Derek Minner. I've always kind of felt like he was a little overrated. But, it is what it is. Damon, he put it on him on Twitter. So, could that backfire on him talking mess about Derek Minner? He fights this kid, Daniel. Daniel beats him. Maybe. But I honestly don't think so. I think Damon, this guy Jackson, I don't like him. He does talk a lot of mess, like you saw, right, on his Twitter. And he's not talking mess to Derek Minner, but he is saying, I'm not surprised you pulled out. Almost kind of dissing him, right? But even though he does a lot of this, right, and I didn't like how the way he treated Movsar Evloev, I can't deny the fact the guy got skills, right? In this world, you need the skills to pay the bills, and he has the skills to pay the bills at a certain level. Not at the highest level. When we saw him fight Topuria, who I think has legit chances to become a UFC world champion, or at least contend for a belt, we saw, he was, he looked dead in there. I'm just being honest. But besides that, he can beat lower level. Well, I wouldn't call him lower level guys, just decent fighters, and he is a winner. Look at his record. He's 20-4. He does not know how to really lose like that. He wins most of his fights. That's how you got to really look at it. When he fights those top guys, he will get sent back down. But at that lower level, like the Charles Rosa, or no disrespect to Kamela Kirk, I think he has some potential, but I saw that coming a mile away. Now, Charles Rosa, respect to Damon, he proved me wrong that day. But against Kirk, I knew Damon's kind of like pressure wrestling. He's a former wrestler, which is it's good for him, but he doesn't fight like a wrestler. He's kind of like, it's weird, like he doesn't really use his wrestling. He used it against Kirk, and he put it on Kirk. And I knew if anyone could actually put that wrestling pressure on that guy, he'll break. And he was able to break Kirk. And Damon Jackson's just tough. He's gritty. He has that wrestler mentality, and I respect that about him. He'll get far. I think in the UFC. I don't think he'll ever make no top 15, or I don't think he'll ever be a world champion. But I could see him lasting in the UFC for a minute, and that's why honestly I'm picking him, because he's just a well-rounded fighter, and he got the skills to pay the bills, man. So yeah, he's gonna pay the bills today, or not today, on fight night, and get the job done over Daniel Argueta, or however you say his last name, by decision. I got Damon Jackson by decision. Next fight, Tony Gravely versus Johnny Munoz Jr. Johnny Munoz Jr. has been kind of nice to the eBay Fight Predictions Instagram, so he's always kind of supported us. He doesn't really know me, but he's always kind of like thumbs up or fire emoji. So I appreciate that. But yeah, man, I think I think Johnny Munoz wins this. I think he's just a better fighter than Tony Gravely. I like Tony Gravely. He's won me some fights, man. He really has. And he's a reliable fighter. He is. He's well rounded. He can wrestle. He can strike a little bit. It's not great, but it's good enough to get the takedown. And yeah, he's a decent fighter. But I mean, his Nate Maness fight, I saw his ceiling. I mean, he was winning until he was losing. You know, I will say that. But I saw Johnny Munoz fight Nate Maness, and I thought he won that fight. But you know, the point deduction, it was all weird. But Munoz, he has a lot of potential to be really special. In the UFC, I think his grappling's really good, and I think he has a good mental space for MMA. Obviously, I might be a little biased, but the kid is good. He really is good. I mean, look at the last guy he fought that was a grappler. I forgot his name. He was a decent fighter. Jamie Simmons. I know Jamie Simmons never accomplished anything as an MMA fighter, but Jamie Simmons was another good wrestler. Actually, really, really accomplished wrestler, and he made quick work of him. I think Johnny Munoz does the same, but I just see a decision victory here. I could see a submission. I really could. I wouldn't blame you if you are picking Munoz by sub here, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm taking Munoz by sub. Actually, fuck that. I'm taking him by sub in the second round. I think it's gonna be a good fight, but yeah, I got Munoz here. Next fight, some fighters that I might have on my prospect video: Joe Solecki versus Alex Del Silva. Really, really tough fight. Really tough. And I'm not saying this because, I mean, that's the thing you say about every single fight. But this is a tough fight. Joe Solecki, he's a good fighter. And he humbled Mr. Austin Hubbard. I remember when Hubbard was kind of like, thought he was the big bad wolf for making that one kid quit. But I feel like, I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but my guy Jared Gordon, showed me a lot of Joe Solecki. And it was a very close fight. I will admit that it was a very close fight, but Gordon still got it done. And I felt like even if you felt like he lost, he still kind of, I think, overperformed to a lot of people's expectations. I wouldn't say what I saw in that fight is Solecki is a bad striker. I just don't think he's comfortable in that striking sense, you know. He's good. He's a good fighter, and when it comes to the grappling, he's been dominant, and he did really well against Jared Gordon, who's usually the guy that's able to put guys on their butt, and he puts that kind of wrestler mentality on them. Joe was able to do that to him, and he's always looking for submissions. But if you can kind of scramble with him and maintain those scrambling positions and able to get back up, I don't know. He's just not as lethal as he's looked prior in his career. Alex Del Silva, that kid, he put on one hell of a performance against Brad Riddell, who is currently number 14 in the world. That kid really impressed me. He's 26 years old, 21-3. I'm taking Alex Del Silva here, actually, by decision. I think he'll win the first 2 rounds, and maybe it's just might take over. Because I do think Alex does gas out, but this kid is really good. He's really good, and I implore you guys to see what he was able to do to Riddell. And I'm gonna find out a lot about Riddell in this fight. I got some heat for my little Riddell Turner video. Some people are kind of like, "Oh, you're hating on Riddell now. You're always hating on him." I'm not. We're gonna find out if he's for real, because if Alex Del Silva gets fucking subbed in 1 round, I'm done with Brad. I am officially done with him forever. I'm still picking Turner, but I will be done with him even after that fight. Yeah, and I just wanted to say that, but Joe could win this. I really could see it. It's 50-50 for me, but I'm actually taking Alex Del Silva. I just think I saw Joe Solecki, man. I saw Joe Solecki when he was able to do it with Jared Gordon. I think a lot of people are trying to ignore that when they're picking this fight. I think people say "Oh, Joe Solecki can be really good," and he can be really good. I agree with that. But I mean, Jared Gordon, don't forget that. And I know Alex lost to Brad Riddell and fucking Alexander Yakovlev, right? But losing to Brad Riddell and doing really good against Brad Riddell, it's not a bad look. Number 14 lightweight in the world, Just saying. Benoit, next fight, by the way, Benoit Saint-Denis versus Nick Stolze. I think this is pretty easy, actually. You got to go with Benoit here. I know he got fucking battered in his last fight, but man, that's Zaleski dos Santos. Benoit's a really good grappler. He's tough, strong dude. And yeah, I felt like Zaleski just wouldn't get taken down. And Zaleski has really good jiu-jitsu. Like, if you remember his Curtis Millender fight where he ended all the hype. If you remember, Curtis Millender had some hype back in the day. Niklas Stolze, I mean, he let me down against Jared Gooden. You can't be getting knocked out like that. So I just got to be honest. You just can't. He's a decent fighter, a decent striker, but I mean, I question his grappling and even his chin at this point. But so I gotta go with Benoit here by decision. I think the Frenchman will get it done. I'm actually surprised he's not fighting on that Paris card, but it is what it is. Next fight, Erin Blanchfield versus JJ Aldrich. Man, JJ, this sucks, man. I am literally mad at myself because I remember when I don't know, who did JJ fight? Was it Jillian Robertson? It was Jillian Robertson, and I picked in that kitchen MMA fight. I picked fucking JJ in the video, and then I switched my pick. And then fucking JJ ended up winning. JJ's really good. Right? But the reason I ended up switching is because I just see there is a hole in her ground. Now, she's getting better. But obviously the competition wasn't able to really exploit that hole. You can get better, but it's still a weakness in your game, right? I think Georges St. Pierre explained it the best. Like, doesn't matter if you're dealing with a great wrestler, right? That's offensively great. All right, what is he like on his back? How is his defensive wrestling? We don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's those certain things. It's like, yeah, she's getting better against Jillian Robertson, but what will Erin Blanchfield do to her? You know what I'm saying? And Erin Blanchfield showed to be a really good grappler in the game, man. What she was able to do to Miranda Maverick, I just think she killed expectations. Her only loss is to Tracy Cortez by split decision. No shame in there. I mean, we all know how I feel about Tracy Cortez, but I'll just keep my opinions to myself. But beside, in terms of like where those girls are at and their trajectory, I mean, it's not a bad loss to have. She's a good wrestler. She has a really crazy head kick knockout. But yeah, man, she's a well-rounded fighter. I mean, nothing really special. She's 23 years old, which is kind of surprising. JJ obviously has the experience advantage, so she will fight as if she is the veteran. But I just think the talent and the youth of Erin Blanchfield will be on her side. So I got her by decision here over JJ Aldrich. Next fight, Andrius Michailidis versus oh man, I cannot pronounce this guy's last name. I'm just gonna say Renette. This guy's, I think he was on Dana White's Looking for a Fight show. I guess nicknamed the Gladiator or the Gladiator. He murdered Eric Spicely. I remember that. And if you don't know who Eric Spicely is, that's a guy that has a win over another guy named Thiago Santos. If you don't know who that is, if you don't know who that is, then I don't know what to do for you. But yeah, Thiago, he lost Eric Spicely, and this kid Renat killed Eric Spicely. Now, obviously, that's just like, you can't really use that, but that's just how that happened, right? And that's how he got into the UFC. Last time I think Eric Spicely fought in the UFC, he got beat up by Duran Win. So if you feel highly of Duran, then you might be like, okay, that's good. Or if you don't, then you're like, oh, that's not a good look. So it is what it is. Andrius Michailidis, I do have to address this. He is going down to welterweight. He is going to be the bigger guy. But, man, I think Michailidis, he's had a rough road in the UFC. I think it's just a lot of, like, misfortune, right? His first fight, he fights Modestas Bukauskas, and that was literally the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I don't know how that happened to him. He gets elbowed a bunch of times. They stop the round. They open the cage door. He falls back, and they're just like, nah, that's enough, right? Then he fights KB Buller. Now, obviously, I don't feel bad for him here, but I don't know what happened. I don't know if he drank fucking wine with Costa that day, but he looked god-awful in there and put on a horrible performance. Then he fights Alex Pereira, right? I'm telling you right now, everyone is watching two fights of Alex Pereira in MMA. It's his fight and Bruno Silva. what he was able to do to Alex Pereira, people are watching every film study is being watched on that fight, right? Because he, I wouldn't say exposed the hole, but he showed an area of weakness in Pereira's game, right? But instead of him being the guy to dethrone Pereira, he gets sent to the second floor at MSG after his head got fucking decapitated by that knee from Alex Pereira, right? So he's been kind of unlucky. Now they're giving him another guy that a lot of people have a lot of hope in, and I mean he's a good wrestler. Nothing special on the feet, but I mean he showed power against Eric Spicely. I don't know if Spicely was just done, if it just took too much damage, but I don't know. I like Andreas Michailidis, but I think Renat or however you say this guy's name, this fucking Russian killer. He's 20-2. He's fought some cans. Don't get it twisted. I looked at his record. I did look at his record, but I just don't see Andreas Michailidis win this fight, and I think he's gonna get cut. So I'm gonna take Renat by. Let's say by decision here. Andreas is pretty good on the ground. Unless he can get like a KO or something like that on him. I'm going to take this Renat kid by decision here. So yeah. Next fight, Odi Osbourne versus Zarrukh Adashev. Really good fight here. I mean, Odi's coming off a win. You know what? I got to apologize to this kid Zarrukh Adashev. I've been calling this kid a bum. He got a bad record, but he's actually not a bum. I mean, he's decent, but I remember when he fought Sudamir. Oh man, I'm sorry. I don't know why I can't say these guys' names anymore. Sue. I'm just gonna say Sue. When he fought that guy, the tall Asian kid, he did pretty decent against him, and I thought he had a good performance there. And then I mean, Ryan Benoit beating him. I mean, Benoit's nothing special, but still, I didn't think he was gonna do that. The Tyson Nam fight's still embarrassing, but I mean, it is what it is. Odi Osbourne, he's been interesting in the UFC. He beat CJ Vargas, so I guess that's decent. CJ just came with a W, I think, a few weeks ago. Lost him in LK, but he was actually doing pretty well before the knockout. Beat Jerome Rivera, nothing special, but he got the knockout there. Lost to Brian Keller, which is I wouldn't say it's a bad loss, but it is a loss. And yeah, he's kind of had a rocky road. So right, he's like loss, win, right? What does it tell me? Probably gonna lose his next fight, right? Now obviously you can't judge it off of that, but Odi, he's long, he's lengthy, and he's a good fighter. I really do think he's a good fighter. Or I shouldn't say a good fighter. He has some potential to be a good fighter, but I question his durability. I just question some things. It's like some days he's like really sharp. It's like a Donald Cerrone thing. Like some days he's really sharp and he looks like she's really good, and other days it's like, man, he just can't move his fucking head, and he gets caught with shots he shouldn't get caught with, right? Or he'll show deficiencies in his grappling. I don't think I've ever picked Zarrukh Adashev ever. I'm actually gonna pick Zarrukh Adashev by decision. I just think this kid's actually a lot tougher than Odi Osbourne, and I think he has better fight IQ, and that's what I'm looking at in this fight. So I'm gonna be taking Zarrukh Adashev here by decision over Odi Osbourne. Next fight, Jeff Molina versus Zhumagulov. This is a good fight here, actually. Man, it's a hard one. But, man, Zhumagulov he got wrecked in his last fight. Man. Yeah. I mean, he needs a win bad. Zhumagulov. The Kyrgyzstani people. I mean, they rock with their guys, but, man, y'all better start spamming them flags as hard as you fucking can, because I don't know if this guy's going to win this fight. I'm going to take Jeff Molina here. I just think the jab, the reach, I think he's good enough on the ground to hold his own. Zhumagulov might end up having a close fight, but it's just that weird thing with Zhumagulov. He's had a lot of split decision losses, a lot of decision losses. I know he got wrecked by Kate, but that's about it. His only win, I think, in the UFC is against Jerome Rivera, right? That's about it. And Rivera ain't nothing special. I'm just being honest. Jeff Molina, I don't think he's anything special too, but he's won his last few fights against subpar competition. Daniel Da Silva, like how you losing to Francisco Figueiredo. Fucking horrible. And then, I mean, Aroli just got a W, I think, just recently, so that's not bad. But Jeff Molina hasn't really proved anything, but he's shown a lot of potential. He's a glory kid. James Krause, right? So you just assume they're good. But I'm gonna take Jeff Molina by decision here. I like Zaglos, but I think his time is done. So yeah, it is what it is. Oh man, this is crazy, bro. I just found out they made this fight today. Next fight, Felice Herrig versus Karine Kowalkiewicz 2, the rematch. I watched this fight. This was Ali Quinta Khabib. I just forgot the number. It's in New York when they fought. I forgot. What was the fucking number? It's 22, 23? Fuck, I might have to search this up. UFC 23. I think it is. 2. Yeah, it is. I like Quinta. I like it. It is. Oh my god, Karine Kowalkiewicz. This is her last win, huh? Oh my god. Oh man, this is fucking hard, bro. Felice Herrig. Dude, Karine is on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fight losing streak, man. Oh my god. Fuck, man, that sucks. I'm happy they gave her this fight. We're gonna see if she's washed or not. I mean, I think we know she's washed. I don't even know why I said that. Felice Herrig ain't good at all. She's 37. I mean, this is a good match. You know what? Good on the matchmakers for making this fight. I got Karine Kowalkiewicz. I'm gonna be so sad at this. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Karine is a pretty cute girl. I'm gonna be really sad at this cute white girl get beat up by this steroid-looking clown, Felice Herrig, man. Little bulldog, man. If that ever was a great nickname, she do look like a bulldog. But it is what it is. I'm sorry for the insult. It's fucking 12 o'clock at night, y'all. I'm a little bored. I gotta go with Karine Kowalkiewicz by decision. She did it once. She can do it again. Hopefully. And she's younger. She's a little younger. Next fight. Interesting fight right here. Alonzo Menifield versus Askar Morozov, I think. Yeah, interesting fight here. Askar's tattoos are very interesting. I'll just say that. I'm taking Askar here. He's actually a really technical fighter when you see him on the pads, but when he actually fights, he fights like an insane dude. Alonzo Menifield, I don't know, man. I don't know, kiddo. I don't know if he got it, man. I think Alonzo is swole. He's a jacked guy, but I don't think he can last in the UFC for that long. I think this Askar guy is actually really good, and I got him by first round KO. I don't think he's gonna last long either. Don't get it twisted, but I would say he's more of a fighter. I think Alonzo's more of an athlete, if you know what I'm saying. I think Askar's gonna win this fight, and also Askar's a Tiger Muay Thai guy, and yeah, man, it's. I mean, I would say the best way for Alonzo to win this fight would probably be like trying to take him down and trying to grind on him. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to get him against the fence, and he has. I wouldn't say he's actually good at that, but he has tried to do that in fights. But I think Menifield's. I mean, it's crazy. Menifield has a win over Paul Craig, but I think Menifield's like window of time to be good. I think it's a wrap, man. Like I think he had an opportunity. He's 34 years old. Obviously, he's a light heavyweight, so they have a little more time. But I think his window was done after he got knocked out by OSP. I don't look at him the same no more. So it is what it is. I got Askar Morozov by first round KO. I think he's gonna catch Alonzo bad. You know, but yeah. Next fight, Mike Trizano versus Lucas Almeida. I gotta go with my guy Mike Trizano here. I know he just lost to Hakeem Adaudu, but man, this guy is really good, man. His kickboxing, his ability to walk forward. Hopefully he cut that dumb mullet off. And I mean, would I like him to leave Tiger Schulman's? Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I think this guy can be really good one day. He does have to work on his output. That's one thing I kind of didn't like in his last fight, but it's Hakeem Adad. He is a top featherweight. So there's no shame in losing that fight. So I got to go with Mike Trizano by decision. Next fight, Poliana Botelho versus Karine Silva, another female fight. It's a hard one right here. I've seen a lot of people are going with the dog here on Botelho. And I mean, she lost a split decision to Luna Carolina. I remember that. And then she lost to Jillian Robertson. This girl, she had a submission win at fucking Contender Series. I could be wrong here. I'm gonna be taking Poliana Botelho. Just a little dog pick here. I think she has the bright lights. She lost to some decent wrestlers. I think Silva's gonna try, and I think Botelho knows if she loses this fight, her ass is out. So I'm gonna take her out, and I trust her team, Nava and Yao. I think they're gonna get her ready for this fight. So yeah, I got Poliana Botelho by decision here over Karine Silva. And next fight, Dan Ige versus Movsar Evloev. I do have a breakdown on this, so that's coming out. So go check that out. Yeah, I got to rock with my guy Dan Ige here. Evloev, he's gonna learn some respect. He's gonna learn some respect. You know, Evloev fans have been running their mouth about Topuria. I got Dan Ige by second round TKO. If you want to go check in more depth of how I felt about the matchup, go on my breakdown, which will be coming out sooner or later, but probably I think on Monday. But yeah, that's another dog pick for you. Man, you know, I'm just gonna say, if Hakeem Dawodu's rocking you with jabs in the third round, I wonder what Dan Ige is gonna do to you. Just saying. Just gonna keep that to myself. And in the main event, Alexander Volkov versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Man, this is a hard one. This is a tough one. Jairzinho has the kickboxing experience. He has the power, right? Can we see another Derek Lewis? In my heart, no, my brain is telling me, go with Jairzinho. Go with Biggie Boy. But Volkov is my guy. Y'all know I'm a Drago fan. The last time I picked against Volkov was against Tom Aspinall, because I actually thought Tom has this very special quality that a lot of UK fighters don't, and that's grappling, right? They don't know how to spell grappling. Actually, they don't know how to spell wrestling. So, and Tom showed that. I could be wrong here, and I could eat my fucking words, and I honestly do think there's a big chance of that, but I think I'm going to rock with Volkov here by decision. I think he's going to outpoint him. He's going to outreach him. Even though he might not have his kickboxing experience, I think Volkov is shown to be a really good MMA striker. I know he's coming off that loss to Tom Aspinall, and it's just a bad loss to have. And I know a lot of people have forgotten how good Biggie Boy is, but I'm going to rock with Volkov here. And I think this is going to be a good fight. And I wouldn't be mad at you if you pick Biggie Boy. But it'd be really sad if Volkov went on a 2-fight skid. I'd be in tears, bro. I'd be in tears. But yeah, I mean, and there's not that big of a reach advantage. It's a 2-inch reach advantage, so it's for Volkov, so it's not that big of a difference. But I just think Volkov should win this. The way he's gonna chop him down, body, leg, head, I think he's gonna win this fight. I mean, honestly, I'll say 4th round TKO. Actually, I changed my mind, because Volkov, he doesn't really. I mean, besides the Tybura fight, because Tybura just tried to wrestle. Volkov finishes fights for most of his fights. He finishes fights. So I'm gonna go with 4th round TKO by Alexander Volkov. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Obviously, I am out of here. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. Link in the bio. Or not? Did I say link in the bio? Link in the description box. Obviously, let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. Subscribe. Like, comment, share the video. Let's get this. I've said this twice. It's 12 o'clock at night, so excuse me. But let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. Love y'all and goodbye. I'm going to go to sleep. See y'all.